A very good morning to you, my students. This is Ajit Kumar Roy from Advanced Spoken English Institute. As you know that we have already started the online classes for you, where I am just giving you lessons on different topics on spoken English improvement. We have already completed many exercises, and the last exercise we have done about the basic requirement of effective oral communication. And I taught you what are the main things that you have to follow if you want to speak in a better way, and if your communication skill, if you want to improve your communication skill. So in the last class I mentioned some points like you have to maintain your pace, your tone, you should not have MTI, mother tongue influence, and your filler. There should not be any fillers in your communication. And the most important thing was intonation that you have to use in your sentences. Many people, they talk in English, they talk very flat. English is not a language that you can speak flat and people will understand you. You have to speak in a tone which is understandable by any country people, right? So in English we have a special topic that is required for your speech, that is intonation pattern. All right. So this lesson today is about the intonation pattern. Normally we do these classes for the senior students who have completed their basic grammar training. They know a bit of grammar, they know a bit of sentence structure, then we do it. But as an online class, I want you to have an overview of this lesson as well. See, it's clear that you are taking online classes, you are listening to the recordings and all, but it does not mean that you will improve without practice. You need practice as well. So this class is to give you a rough idea about what is there in the spoken English training and how you can improve yourself, what are the important things that you should learn. Because many students, they are very much confused. As I am in this field for almost 15 to 16 years, what I see, students actually don't know what they have to do. What is the main thing? Sometimes they say that idioms you can use, some people they say synonyms, teach me this, some people say reading, some people say writing. So yeah, they are very much confused about the course structure. They don't know exactly what are the most important things which are required for your spoken English training. So what I'm highlighting in my classes, the requirement, the basic requirement for your spoken English. You don't compare, don't get confused with the normal English that you learn in your school. This is a special training for you, which will give you enhancement and which will give you the confidence to speak English clearly. So all the lessons are designed for making you speak fluently, and as soon as possible we are trying to make you understandable and speak English straight. So but one more most important thing is that you have to practice whatever lesson that I'm giving you. If you are not practicing, then you are not going to improve. The main thing is that whatever training that you are getting over here, you should revise it in your house, you should practice, look at it many times, you have to repeat it, right? So this topic is intonation pattern. So I'll just tell you what exactly intonation pattern is. So introduction of the chapter, I'm going to read it from your book. So what is saying in the book? See, language conveys very specific information such as how to get somewhere or what someone is doing. It can be also used beyond the exact meaning of the words to indicate how the speaker feels about what he is saying or how he personally feels at that moment. So when you are talking in English, your feeling should be there in English. Intonation pattern will get you the feeling, emotion in your speech. That is the main intention. Because see, many things that you say without emotion, without feeling, then it's not right. It's not actually the right way of communicating. So you should have proper emotion, proper feeling. You should put stress and intonate the right words. So generally speaking, if English is not your first language, this is where you start running into difficulty. Even if you pronounce each word clearly, if your intonation patterns are non-standard, your meaning will probably not be clear. Also, in terms of comprehension, you will lose a great deal of information if you are listening for the actual words used. So if someone else is saying something and you might miss the importance of the sentence. What I see that many students, when they talk, they just want to say some happy feeling in a sad manner, they say some sad feeling in a happy manner in a normal tone, and they sound very rude that time. Okay, so they are saying about the sympathy, they are sympathizing something, and they are saying in a very rude way. So you should have an emotion, like if something bad has happened, you have to say in a very low voice, in a very depressed way, or if you are saying about some happy, something good happens, so you have to say in the excitement way. So that is the thing to the start over here. Intonation in English is the rise and fall of pitch in order to convey a range of meanings, right? Emotions or situations within the confines of standard grammar and fixed word order. It is important to find a balance between sounding too childish and dramatic, and on the other hand, sounding completely flat or devoid of any expression, right? So intonation is a natural musical rhythm in one's speech. So what is saying in the book that if you are just focusing on too much of stress, that was a wonderful exam, this one I have done. So if you do some extra intonation, so you'll sound like drama. So you are doing a drama. It will sound dramatic. So you don't have to do any kind of dramatic scene. You just have to say in a way that is perfect, in a grammatical order. Now you might be thinking, sir, so many words are there, so many sentences are there. Where should I intonate? Which part should I intonate? So here it is. That is the training is over here in a grammatical way, how you can intonate properly. Which are the portion, which are the things that you should intonate? That is the thing I'm going to teach you this lesson, alright? So we will be starting with the rules of the intonation pattern, and you just have to understand this is just a rhythm, a musical tone. You have to enjoy by saying it, right? Don't take it as something that is very learning part. If you learn it, you just understand, try to understand the concept, and then you will be able to use it in your conversation. Okay. First and foremost rule is that most of the time you do not jump or pitch on pronouns. Instead, you jump after the pronouns or before the pronouns, right? So the first rule is that don't jump or pitch pronouns like I, you, they, we. These words are not to be intonated, not to be said in a louder tone. You cannot say, I'm not sure where to go. You have to say, I'm not sure where to go. You cannot say, he always worries too much. No, you have to say, he always worries too much. He should be said in a very light tone, very in a low voice. He always worries too much. That after the pronoun, whatever the word comes, that word should be intonated. If you have the second one, it is she visited me yesterday. So you have to say visited should be intonated. The next is it was a dark and stormy night. So was will be intonated. You should not intonate it. Right? So the first rule is that you must remember, don't jump pitch pronouns like are you, they, we. Instead, after or before them. The next rule is that you should not jump or pitch on the little words. Like some little words like preposition like to, of, for. These words should not be intonated, should not be pitched. Don't jump on or pitch. Pitch simply means intonate. Little words like at, on, for, by, these words. You should not pitch or intonate these words. Right? Second, that was the second point, and there are some examples that I'm going to read it to you. Like you cannot say going to the store, I'm going to the store, I'm going to the market. No, you have to say going to the store, I'm going to the store now, I'm going to the market now. This gift is for you, this gift is for you. So it's sounding dramatic. If you say for you, it's sounding dramatic. You have to say this gift is for you. For should be said in a very light way. I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to understand you. That's wrong English. You cannot intonate to understand you. This is dramatic. I'm trying to understand you. So this is the way you'll say. That is the second one. The third one is when the real grammar portion comes over here, that when you get adverb early in the phrase, then you should pitch and intonate adverbs, right? For example, quickly, basically, smartly, these all words should be intonated. Intonate adverbs. Always remember, any sentence, if you have adverb coming early in the phrase, as you see in a sentence, for example, a very good dinner. So you see very is coming, so it's an adverb. So you have to intonate that word, a very good dinner. Don't say very good dinner, that's wrong. A very good dinner. They carefully inspected the food. Carefully. Don't say they carefully inspected. No, that is not the way. They will not understand you. Especially when you talk with the foreign clients, if you talk with any people who live in UK, US, they will not understand you at all. Okay. Even if you see any English movies and all, they intonate the right words, right? So that is the reason you are able to understand them. They stress on those words. They know it since birth. As they start their speaking, they have the habit because that is their native language, right? So he hardly ever finishes on time. Hardly should be intonated, and he really worries too much. So really should be intonated. So these words, whatever the words that I have told you, like very, for example, very, always, then hardly. These words should be intonated in a better way. You have to intonate the adverb early in the phrase. That's the first grammar rule, adverb. You should not intonate preposition, you should not intonate little words, but you should target adverb to intonate, right? Next one, suppose in a sentence if you don't have adverb, then you have to look for adjective. If you don't get adverb, then you look for adjective. If you don't get adverb, look for adjective. For example, good, smart, big, any kind of adjective you should intonate, right? So for example, the other side of the hill, the other side, other is adjective. The red rose bushes, red should be intonated, right? The big blue pickup truck. The big is adjective. You say the big blue pickup truck. No, it's a big blue pickup truck. So big is the adjective over here. The big blue pickup truck. There are two adjectives over here. The first part should be intonated. The first one. We saw dark clouds in the distance. Dark should be intonated. So if there are no adverbs, so that was the third rule. So first one was, there's a fourth rule. Okay, don't intonate pronoun, don't intonate little words, intonate adverb and intonate adjective. If you don't get adverb, intonate adjectives, right? Adjectives. The next one, if you don't find any adverb, if you don't find any adjective, then you will have to look for noun or pronoun. If no adverb, no adjective, look for noun or verb. If there is no adjective, no, then you have to look for noun or verbs in a sentence. Like, for example, the children ran home. The children should be intonated. The hotel is opening. Hotel is intonated. My partner was looking for me. Partner is intonated. My cat ate its dinner. Cat should be intonated, right? So this is the last part that you have to follow. And apart from this, you might be confused, sir, if we have intonated once, shall I intonate the second time also? Yes. If it's a longer phrases, for longer phrases, you can intonate twice. Okay, depending upon the words. If it is coming under the pattern, coming under the rule of intonation pattern, then you can definitely intonate it. But what I would suggest is that this is the basic rule that you have learned, but in a natural way, whenever you start speaking, that time you don't remember the rules, so you have to speak in a natural way. Whatever thing you think that yes, this word should be intonated, so fine, you just intonate according to your importance, what importance you have to say in the sentence. According to that, you can intonate it. For example, I will tell you that in a sentence, if I am saying Ronald lent Mark $10. So Ronald lend Mark $10, right? So here the meaning is Ronald has given Mark $10, right? That's the currency of UK. So if I want to stress that to someone that I have given Ronald that amount, then I'm saying Ronald lent Mark $10. So that is right, because I want to highlight Ronald. I'm not saying that Mark or any other person. Ronald lend. Now if I want to put stress on lend, as a Ronald lend Mark $10. So what I mean to say that he has given him as a borrowing part, lend it. He wants return. He's not given him forever, right? So that's the reason I've intonated lend. Now if I say Ronald lend Mark $10, so now I'm saying, putting stress on Mark, intonating Mark, that means I'm saying not other person, only Mark. And if I will intonate Ronald lend Mark $10, so I'm intonating 10, that means I'm focusing on the amount, not 5, not 6, 10. And in the end, if I say Ronald lend Mark $10, so that means what I'm saying, I'm focusing on dollars. That means I'm highlighting that I'm lending him dollar, not rupees, not pound, not any other currency. I'm lending him dollars. So this is the way I have intonated according to my wish. I thought that this word is very important for me, so I've intonated that one, and the other person will catch that word and try to understand that if he is stressing on that word and intonating that word, that means he wants to convey a special thought about that person. Same way, apart from this rule, you should follow your own intonation pattern also according to your importance, what importance you want to give in a sentence. That is up to you. Alright? So I'll quickly just read every options for you, for your understanding. What are the basic intonation pattern? Number one, you should not intonate little words. Okay? You should not intonate pronoun. You should intonate adverbs. If you get adverb early in the phrase, if you don't get adverb, you should intonate adjective. And if you don't get adverb, if you don't get adjective, then you should intonate noun or verb. And after all, if you don't have any knowledge about these things, then also you can intonate. But you have to make sure that you intonate the right words which has feelings, the feeling that you want to convey. So this is about the training on intonation pattern. I hope you understood the class. I've explained you each and everything in a detailed manner. So please watch this video 2-3 times. If you don't understand one time, go through it again and try to make some points, and definitely like and subscribe my channel if you want more informative videos like this kind. And please comment and give your views, okay, about this training that you are taking for so many days, right? So I will continue with the other classes next day. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Bye.